Tonight, there are some new questions in this case of Major Matthew Goldstein, a former Green Beret and Silver Star recipient, now facing murder charges after admitting to killing a suspected Taliban bomb maker in 2010. Joining me now is Tom Kenniff, criminal lawyer, Iraq war veteran, former officer in the Army National Guard's JAG Corps. Tom, always good to talk to you about this kind of story. And I think, people listen to this story and they can't believe it. This is a decorated war hero who was trying to protect his own men. He said that he had the experience in the past of letting, these guys go, and then they just came back around once they realized who they were working with within the Afghan army. They came back to kill them. And he didn't want that to happen.
Yeah, well, also all the time that has passed. I remember we're going on 9 years now. Now, of course, there is no statute of limitations for murder, which is one of the problems that the major is facing here. And of course, everybody's going back to these statements, these what prosecutors will construe as admissions that he made both on television and apparently in this interview that he did for employment with the CIA, where he was hooked up to a lie detector test. Now, that lie detector test in and of itself wouldn't be admissible in a general courts-martial, but the statements themselves that he made could be used as admissions against him, whatever it is that he supposedly said regarding this killing. So, there's a lot of moving parts here, and obviously him being a Green Beret and a member of the Special Forces, I mean, no one can really imagine what combat veterans were going through at that time, let alone combat veterans, not JAG guys like me,
Helmand Province. I mean, you were in Iraq, and we had Geraldo here the other night who was reporting from the war zone at the time, just saying it was absolute chaos. That everything, there were IEDs blowing up under our vehicles on a daily basis, and that he felt so strongly that this guy's a hero and that he should not be held responsible for this.
Right, absolute chaos. And then a lot of people felt that under the Obama administration, and maybe even under the later portions of the Bush administration after Abu Ghraib and so forth, that a lot of these heroes were being asked to fight this war with one hand tied behind their back because the rules of engagement, the military rules for the use of force were becoming so restrictive that it really put them in an untenable situation. Now, of course, that would not justify a cold-blooded killing of a detainee in custody, if that's what this was. But it's not clear that that's what it was, and I think we all hope that it wasn't.
I want to play a quick soundbite from his wife and just get a quick thought from you out of that. Let's watch.
I'd also just like to say that this is the army of Manning and Bergdahl. Yeah. And if those are the kinds of people that we want in the army, that's what we're going to end up with, because who are we going to have in our ranks if this is what we do to our good men?
She makes a great point, and one thing I want to point out is, the charges in this case, they have been preferred to courts-martial. There is still due process that will occur before this case could ever get to courts-martial. There's something called an Article 32 hearing, which is sort of the military's equivalent of a grand jury or a felony hearing, where a military officer is going to review these allegations for probable cause. That officer can make a determination that there is no probable cause, which then the commanding general will have to either agree to follow or not. He can also make findings in mitigation, determine that, look, there perhaps was misconduct here, but it doesn't rise to the level where this hero should be facing a general courts-martial where he could get either life in prison or even the death penalty, for that matter.
Unreal. Tom, thank you very much. Good to have you here tonight.